So I tend to do things the hard way, right? This is like episode 6, maybe? And it's been a long-standing joke that I tend to complexify or complicate things. Because that's just who I am. That's just my nature at this point. And it's like if there's an easy way to do it, then I'll make it difficult. Like I will find every wrong turn. Not to the point of ridiculousness though. Like there's always I don't know what I don't want to say good reason, but there's always a reason that makes sense. It's a sensical reason. It's a reasonable reason even for why this happens. But it does happen a lot more than it seems like it happens to other people. Although I don't know that it actually is that way. It seems that way. But other people have told me that I complicate things too. So I think it's probably just true that I complicate things. So I'm a writer. I like talking. I love these podcasts. So I'm a talker too. But I'm also a writer. But I don't like to edit. And that kind of comes along with the whole edit write thing. You write things and then you have to go back and you have to edit them. And I've always kind of been the kind of person that if I'm going to write it, well, I might as well write it the right way the first time. Well, of course, if everybody could do that, then that's the way everybody would do it. Yeah, no, it's more that like I tried to write a book and I tried for, I want to say it was like 3 years, 2 or 3 years that I was like hardcore writing it. It was around between like 18 and 20. So yeah, I guess, well, I tried during some of the overlapping years. So it was almost 3 years, somewhere between 2 and 3 years. But I kept getting, like, I think I got to chapter 20, maybe 18, something like that. And I kept getting hung up on the editing because I would write a couple chapters. And then, because I didn't know I had ADHD, I would put the book down and get busy doing something else. And I would come back to it a couple months later. And then I'd need to reread it because I'd need to know where I was at. And in the rereading of it, I would edit it, which is, that's the natural way, right? You reread a thing and you edit it. That's what editing is. It's you rereading it and realizing, this could be said a better way. But I got so hung up on that by like chapter 18 or 20, I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't pick the book back up to do that because I had edited so much of my book before it was ever finished. And I realized, I grew a little bit more and found out that there's this, writer's secret of you don't edit until the draft is finished. I didn't know that. Nobody told me that. But by that point, I had edited so much. I didn't need to edit for it to be moderately passable work. Not great. I mean, you've probably read some of my writing, and if you haven't, I'm sure I'll give you a link so that you can do so. But it's moderately passable. Like, it's not terrible right out the gate. I don't edit because I edited so much. So I got to this point where I'm like, fine, I'll just write it the first time and just do better. Just try to get better at doing it the first time. And that is just the kind of writer I am. And then I wrote that article about my cat that the last episode was me reading the article aloud. And I must have edited and reread that article from start to finish at least 5 times. Every single time I enjoyed reading it. Every single time. There wasn't a single time that I read it that I was like, oh, why am I doing this? I should just send it out. No, every single time I was like, I am in this. I feel this. Every word resonated with my being, and it was oddly joyous for what the content actually provided. And I was like, wow, this is next level writing. This is what I need. I need every work to be like this, right? I was so proud of that. I am still proud of that article. And I have no idea how to repeat it because my next one was not nearly as good, of course, as one could predict easily. But I know that exists now. I know that I can do that. 40 years in, I finally know I can read what I wrote and enjoy it. So about a month ago, for about the last month, I have been trying to record myself playing this really enjoyable game called Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey, or something like that. And I really enjoy the game. The game is super fun. Like, I started recording it because I realized that I was getting pretty close to the end. I was like at least 3/4 of the way through, and I was like, if I finish this game, I have no more reason to play it again. So instead of finishing the game, I had to make things difficult for myself and was like, I'm going to just start all over and record it. That's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'll have so much fun doing it. And that was like a month ago. And I had a lot of difficulty actually editing the video. I've done video editing. I don't know how many videos on my Izanami-kun account, but there's like over 100 videos. Most of them are half an hour or longer. So, like, it's not like I'm a stranger to the editing business. Not business, but I've edited. Not great, but I have done it, and I've proven that I can do it. So the fact that I was really struggling to get through the editing of these like hour-long videos, which it's not really as long as that sounds. It is long. Okay, it is long, but it's not as long as it sounds. I've done those before. I was just like, what is wrong with me that I can't seem to do this? I just wanted to play the game, I think, partially, but I realized that in the videos themselves, like, I was playing a different way than how I would play if I wasn't recording. And so I was like, okay, the month happened, and I don't know, about a week ago, after my cat died, after writing the article about it, I decided I'm gonna redo the Ancestors videos, and this time I'm gonna have fun. I'm just gonna play the way I normally play, but this time play like somebody's watching, but with the assumption that we're all having fun, not like for me to teach anybody or be cool for anybody, like, just, the way the way that we used to, me and my brothers and sisters, when we were kids, we had like one TV basically and one game system, and if one person was playing, everybody else had to just watch or do something else. And sometimes we would just watch each other, and it was really fun. And so I'm like, well, I'm just going to play like that's what's happening. I'll be playing like I want to play, but just, like other people are watching, and then I can say things because they're watching. And that was really fun to like record the video. But then when I got to the editing, the first like half of the editing, I was just like, it's just not fun. It's what I don't know. I just couldn't find the fun. And then I found a clip inside of what I was recording, that I was editing. And I was like, this would make a really great short. And I started doing little shorts. And then I started like, I don't know how many I have. I have like at least 10, I think, from the first remade video of ancestors, which, by the way, the old videos are deleted. I just deleted them. I didn't care about them. Just gone. They never made it to YouTube or anything. Patreon, none of it. Just gone. Just delete it. I could use the space for videos that will make it out there. But once I started doing these short clips, I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun. And then I started like, I made a little like, it's not on the Patreon video, which in hindsight, I probably should have redone it so that it was, but in the YouTube video, I have this little like scenario changey part, is the interchange clip between one scene and the next scene, and I kind of created that from footage from the video, and it's really neat, and it was really fun to do, and I just had a whole bunch of fun doing it. It didn't even matter that it took me the whole freaking day to edit the YouTube video. It was so much fun, and I have all these shorts that, you know, at some point I'll have to edit those to get those out there too. And I think at this point I've decided I'm going to be complicated. Like, I know that it took me all day to do something that probably should have only taken like 2 to 4 hours maybe. Part of it wasn't my fault. I need to upgrade some hardware stuff, because there was a lot of wait time with the little circle-y waiting deal where my computer was just not doing things very fast. But it's going to be complicated. Everything that I do, everything that I choose to do, I'm going to complexify it. And that's okay. It's not about doing it efficiently. And it's not about other people enjoying it. It's not even about whether or not I can make money off of it. It's whether I'm having fun. Because I don't really need the views. I don't need, like, everybody could use the money, right? Like, I could use the money, all right? But I don't need the money. I feel like I need the money, but I know that I don't. And I don't need people to like me or think that anything that I do is funny or interesting or whatever. But I do think I need to have fun. So I'm not going to do these things for an audience anymore. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I am definitely talking to you, listener. So in a sense, I am doing it for you, but maybe it's not so much for, but rather with you in mind, with an audience in mind. But from here on, I'm going to do things for myself. And maybe that means that I'll stay small and unknown, and nothing I ever create gets to be one of those lottery tickets of creator content. I may never be that lucky, and that's fine. I'll be in the majority there. There's so many creators that never get seen, never get anything. They don't go anywhere, and they end up having to just live out their boring lives without being some internet sensation. Oh no. I'd have to just live my life. And that's okay. It really is. I can always declare bankruptcy if I need to. That's a joke, but it didn't come across so much. But I guess my point is that I don't need to do these things. I want to do these things. So thank you for being here with me.